What's going on, everybody? I'm Nick.
And I'm Joe.
And we're Nick and Joe. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the K-Drama Club.
Welcome.
We are at episode 9 of Startup, a new, can we still say new at this point? The latest, hottest, coolest K-drama on Netflix that we've been watching since episode 1. So if you have not been following along with us, make sure you subscribe to the channel and go back and watch some of our earlier videos so you can watch along from episode 1 with us all the way through till now. We're keeping up current and we're going to keep putting out new episodes for as long as the series goes. And here we are, one episode past the halfway point.
Wow.
It's a big one.
It was a big one. But before we start, a couple people have been going hard in the comments.
We love comments.
Yes, we love comments. And actually, if you're watching the video and you want to talk more about the story, I'm responding to every single comment and just like discussing more about like things maybe we didn't talk about in the videos. Or if you want to just read them to see what other people are thinking, you definitely should. There's two people in particular, JD Katz. And then Love BB for Life, which I'm assuming stands for Big Bang.
Oh.
Like a K-pop group.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, those two I had a lot of discussions with on the last two videos. So
people dropping knowledge, like things we would never know. And also predictions and perspectives that we would also not know either. The one that you told me about. Because last episode we talked about the security guard and Cheapyong and like that funny little scenario in the parking garage where they were like talking about the plant or whatever, and it just seemed like they were a comedy duo or whatever. Yeah. And apparently they have been on a show together or they're in a show together.
They are a comedy duo.
They are a comedy duo, so that's great. We'll have to check that out. Maybe at the end of Startup we'll go and like check out other media that people are in. That'd be fun. Are we going to get into the episode?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. This episode started very dramatically.
Yeah, it started off like
heavy.
For like, and I think there are really only like two important things that happen in this whole episode.
I would say so.
Like the first thing is learning more about like Dosan's past and kind of why he is the way that he is.
Yeah. It's all very dramatic. Yeah. It all comes down to the little science fair thing.
Yeah, and like it turns, obviously he like cheated.
He's a huge cheater.
But I think that it wasn't so much that he cheated. Like it didn't make him any less smart. Like he's the same person, but it just made him feel like he didn't deserve any of the things that he had. So that's why he dropped out of college, and that's why he was afraid to face his parents and everything like that.
And it's a story of his life now because now he's posing to be somebody he's not.
Exactly. So his whole life he just has felt like he's like this fake.
Yeah.
And he kept saying like the wind is turning into a storm again.
He's quite poetic for an analytical brain.
Yeah, exactly. For someone who didn't write the letters, he sounded.
That was like the first 2 minutes of the episode. I'm like, what is happening? Like this is a lot right away.
I think it's good. It just kind of like because it never really tells you why he like left college, and they guys kind of make it seem like he's too nice.
Yeah.
His parents like he's so humble, he's way too nice, but it turns out that he just felt like he was lying.
He didn't deserve it.
Like he didn't deserve it.
And the father is a crazy person too.
Yeah, the father is. I think it's like a big caricature of like your like typical Korean parents. I think is what they're doing there. I think that's a little bit more over the top, obviously. Yeah. But it's kind of like you kind of see that kind of character in a lot of these shows, like how the parents are very
we saw it in Itaewon Class.
Yeah, the parents are super overbearing, and the parents like want their kids to live their life this specific way.
Yeah.
So if they don't do it that way, then they get very upset.
They bug out. Yeah. Oh, the opening like conflict thing that didn't end up like causing anything else in the rest of the episode was like Injae getting attacked because their technology is replacing these security guards. Yeah. Like at this company.
And like I think she was supposed to she like came to some sort of realization there, or like her mentor, Miss Yoon, like was pushing her towards this like revelation that she was supposed to make. This like big.
They say it's like compassion over money or money over compassion.
And like he didn't make a scene like there was a risk.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole thing. But so I think that's gonna come into play later. Like there's gonna be something with that where she thinks back on that moment and realizes something.
Yeah. And also Dalmi came to her rescue. Yeah. Even though they were just like bickering, basically leading right up to that. Even after the incident happens, they're still like bickering and like won't just be nice to each other. Yeah. Even though they clearly like care about each other. They just can't let it go. That's frustrating to watch.
Yeah, but I think that the sisterly bond will be back at some point by the end of the series.
It's getting drawn out a bit.
But yeah, I think that they are, at this point, I think they care about each other, but they're both too stubborn to just let it go.
Exactly.
And, the other little tiny thing that happened that I think is going to, I think the mother, Tommy and EJ's mother, is going to work for the grandmother.
Of course,
she's gonna come crawling back,
making some corn dogs.
Yeah, exactly. And she's gonna end up supporting her.
And that's what's gonna bring the whole family.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like this big thing. They just barely started to get into that a little bit, but right now the mother is like, I can't fix it. So she like left. Other than that, whole episode, this big drawn out, just waiting for the secret to come out.
Waiting for the big secret to come out.
God, they've teased it like 6 times.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, oh, is it gonna happen now?
It was a slow burn.
And it was like they put them in like 5 different situations where it would have been, they're like, this is the perfect
everybody's
time.
together.
Yeah.
Now everybody get on the same page.
Perfect.
But
And
no.
it just
I thought the scene where Tosan gets drunk and they like bring him home.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny. I liked everybody being there. I like that Chipyong ends up in the mix too, so all 4 of them are there, and then they end up both sleeping at Dalmi's house. Like I thought that was very funny.
And like the scene where he's like crying, like fake telling Dalmi because he's like drunk and he's like imagining that she's across the table from him.
Yeah.
Like that scene is like, okay, like secrets, like he's gonna tell her this episode, like something's gonna come out, like, and he kind of like, it starts with him apologizing to his parents, but it like slowly turns into like this different thing, where he's like saying his feelings and saying like, you know,
because of course his mom gives him a whole speech about like, I would have rather heard this from you than from somebody else, talking about just like learning about things about her son. And of course that's also a big metaphor for Dalmi, like wanting to hear it from him, or he needs to tell her.
And they drag all that out, and like Chipyong's really going through it. Like he tells the grandma, like, I gotta tell her, I'm really sorry. Like,
is this episode the first one where Chipyong actually says out loud that he has feelings for her?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I think it's like it's probably even the first time that he like accepted it himself.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he was fighting it all that time, and he finally just like accepted it.
Yeah.
Everybody's all thrown off. Like the grandmother's all upset because she wants the secret to stay because she sees how happy Dalmi is with Dosan.
Yes, because they go on this nice romantic date. Yeah. And then, like, Dalmi sounds like she's going to go back on what she said before, where she said she would choose the one who wrote the letters versus the one, like, from current day. But she reverses that, or she starts to, and she's like, oh, you asked me this, and I like this. Basically saying she likes the, like, actual Dosan so much that it scares her.
Yeah.
So it's all a mess, because she's gonna, at first we think, she actually likes Chipyong because he wrote the letters, and now she's finally getting warmed up to actual Dosan. And of course, now it's all gonna come to a head, and she's going to find out.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, at this point, it seems like everybody, like, Chipyong is planning to tell her, Dosan is planning to tell her, but the grandmother is the only one who's like,
no.
Yeah, wants the secret to be kept. But I think the strange thing is that in this episode, I think Dalmi like kind of already knows. Like
I thought that too, but then when it comes time for her to know, when there's no other way, like she has to know, she still acts surprised.
But I think that what it is, like when she was talking to her grandmother and she's like, is it possible that they could be 2 different people? And her grandma's like, oh no, that's like so crazy.
That was the perfect opportunity. She didn't have to tell the secret there. She could have just said, when people are younger, they're different people, and then they grow up to be somebody different. Like, she could have just, like, said something like that.
Yeah, but Dalmi also said, like, I have so many things I want to ask him, but I'm afraid. Mm-hmm. And I think that was, like, she knows, like, deep down, but she doesn't want to, like, as soon as she, like, starts asking the questions, she knows that it's, like, the whole thing's going to start falling apart. Mm-hmm. So she's afraid to kind of, like, get that ball rolling, and she's just kind of rolling with it still for now. Yeah. Because she's afraid for, like, the whole thing to collapse on her. When she accidentally takes her grandmother's phone, and she gets that message from Chipyong, and she reads it. She's waiting for Dosan at the subway station, and he's walking out, and I'm like, she's not going to be there when he gets out, bro.
That sequence seemed like it took forever. Yeah. Like, you don't know where anybody is, and you don't know where Tommy's going to end up, and lo and behold, they end up at the birdhouse with where the letters go, and who's there? Chipyong, because he knows the letters are there. And while they're there, Dosan calls, and she's like, come to the place where you sent the letters. Yeah, and he has no idea what she's talking about.
She's like, where was the place? And he's like, tell me. And she's like, why can't you just tell me? And then she just hangs up on him. I thought, and you thought, that this was going to end with like a total like cliffhanger. Yes. Like they weren't going to, it was going to be like their secret's about to come out.
I thought all 3 of them were going to converge on one point, and we were going to see like who was going to say what, and we'd see next episode. But no, like we got clear closure this episode that yes, she knows, and everybody knows she knows.
But the only thing that we don't know is what happens on the other end of that phone call. So like we know that what happens with Dosan, but we don't know the conversation that Tommy and Chi-Pyong are about to have.
True.
Or like what if she just walks away, or if she's like mad at him.
Yes.
I think she's gonna be angry with everyone.
The worst thing about it is like the 3 people that she's probably closest with right now and that she cares about the most have all been lying to her.
Yeah, and like betrayed her.
Yeah, now she has to come to terms with that.
And I will say that this episode
Was a big one.
It was a big one, for sure. But this whole time, have felt like I want Talmi to end up with Chi-Pyong. I would think that is like I think that's just like the more like romanticized pairing because like the letters and all that stuff.
Yeah, and you're wrong. But
that's what I want, but I think now after this episode that the show is going to be about her and Dosan.
It's always been destined.
I think it's going to be about...
You saw them on the beach, bro.
Yeah.
Even Noon Gil saw it.
Yeah, I think it's going to show like how she kind of overcomes that and realizes that, you know, she loves this person and that the letters were, you know, from the past and all that. But I'm still rooting for Chi-Pyong. That's what I hope happens in the end. But
Why?
I don't know. Like, I just feel like I think I empathize more with his character than I do with Tosan's character.
I don't.
I do.
Even though now we know, like, Tosan's a big fat cheater.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that the cheating thing, like, he is as smart as he always was. Like, he is like that genius kid, and
but his emotions annoyed me this episode.
Yeah, it is weird how quickly his character turned from like this super over analytical thing, which you still saw in that scene when Tommy makes the like analogy about the moon and the stars, and he like corrects her. It's like a full 180 where it's like super like emotional.
Super emotional, getting blackout drunk, and just like saying metaphors about the wind and the storms.
Yeah, which is it does seem like a total 180.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to end up together, but I think that is what the show is going to be about, is them two.
Or
that out.
Talmi goes off the deep end and hates all of them and goes like role reversal. She takes Injay's spot and starts running like a ruthless business.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think
Not
so.
usually how these things go?
I don't think she has it in her. Someone's got to be in love with somebody. That's all I know.
Yeah. I want to give an honorable mention to the scene where it's raining and Saha and what's the goofy guy's name?
Yeah, Chusan.
Yeah, they're out there and he's like so ready to use his shirt to cover her, and then nope. Pulls out the umbrella.
Every episode, I'm just like, I love her.
More Saha. We need a Saha spin-off.
We need like a Saha episode.
A Saha episode.
We got like the episode about the 3 friends. We got all these episodes, but we have not gotten like a Saha episode.
Now I would say that Saha is probably the person that Talmi is likely to be closest with, because at work she's gonna hate the 2 men that she's close with. So if there's like some sisterly bonding there, that could be an opportunity for that.
And it already seems like their friendship has like gone to a different like level, because there's just a different level of respect there. Like Saha is showing that like she did not show in previous episodes. I think it started kind of with the idea for the app. And that was like something that Saha could actually get behind. Yeah. It was like the first time. But yeah, I want to see more Saha.
Yeah. No mention of any kind of revenge plot, no hooded figure. What's going on with that? We'll never see it again.
Yeah, I think that once we get through, I think that Tommy's going to be really going through it with this whole secret thing, and it's going to all come out. It's like, you know, like...
There's going to be a conflict that brings them back together.
Yeah, or it's like, it's when, you know, when it's bad, it gets worse, and it's just going to be like a barrage of like crazy things happening. But we'll see. But Alex made his triumphant return on his little
stupid scooter thing. He's so annoying, too, like his voice, and then he switches to English sometimes, and he just...
Yeah.
But what's the big idea there? He's going to choose one of the teams, and we hope that it's...
Yeah, and he wants to bring them back to San Francisco. I don't know. But he said it's going to be one that's going to make them a lot of money. But I think he still thinks that that's Dosan.
We shall see. He's setting up lots of stuff. Yeah. You know, tomorrow's episode...
Oh my God, it's going to be a big one.
It's going to be the biggest one.
It's going to be a big, big one. I'm happy that finally the letters thing is going to unravel. And then I think next episode we'll see how it unravels.
You hope so.
Yeah, it was a big emotional release for me to finally happen.
Yeah. And I'm glad it did.
Yeah.
It's time to get some sleep, because we've got to be up early to watch episode 10 tomorrow. It's going to be a big one.
It's going to be a big one.
So if you have comments, predictions, you know, you want to just talk about the episode, leave them down below in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, because it helps the algorithm, helps more people see our videos. Check out some other videos that we've got. We did a Twice music video reaction. We've got some Blackpink reaction videos. We just did a
Lauren
reaction video. and that's really fun. We've got a bunch of other Blackpink content as well. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like that stuff. Tune in for the K-Drama Club. We're watching these episodes as they come out and filming them on the day we watch them. So tune in for more of that. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Nick.
And I'm Joe.
And we're Nick and Joe.
Ooh, that was a little too close.
That's a good one.
I don't know.